Okay, Mavens, welcome to Stash It Monday. So today, the inspiration piece that you saw in the intro had a photo on it that had hot air balloons. So it reminded me that somewhere in my stash there was some paper with hot air balloons on it. I don't know when I'll ever have an opportunity to do hot air balloon photos or anything, so might as well use some of that. So then I found it, and it's Chamel's Starshine collection. So I had the 6x6 pad, I had a 12x12 pad, because I got the 12x12 at Tuesday morning, so it was like $6, which is the only reason I have it. The rest of the stuff that I have, I bought, I think I bought it online somewhere. Anyway, so I got out the 6x6 pad to use. I got out these two pieces of paper. I grabbed out this photo because I thought hot air balloons has to be an outdoor photo of some kind. So I'll grab that. When I went through the 12x12, this was just the paper that I liked. I like that it goes with her shirt and what she's wearing. So I kind of started with this hot air balloon, found the paper line, then found a photo, and then with the photo then picked some papers and things that went along with it, which is a very weird way for me to go, but that's the way we went. So I did pull out some Chamel stickers that I have. I pulled out the pack of die cuts because I think there is a hot air balloon die cut in here somewhere. Anyway, so I don't know, we'll see where this goes. I have some letter stickers pulled out too, and oh, and this, I had these two scraps, and it caught my eye because I love this paper. They're not from Starshine, they're from some other paper, some other Chamel line. I love this paper, but it really doesn't go like at all, so that's a no. But I also have this scrap of yellow, that's these cut aparts on the back. And this yellow, I think, is going to go perfectly to map my photo, because with this busy background, it's going to need something to separate it, and I think that's going to work perfectly. So, I'll speed you up now, and thanks for watching. Have a great day. So I already showed you everything. That was my thumbs up that I had my camera in the right place. And it is going to be just a little bit cut off, and I apologize for that, but it's just what happens. So this piece of like galaxy paper, I couldn't see myself really using, plus there's two in there, so I decided it would make a good background. It would put that blue behind the flower paper and just give me a little border. I decided to go ahead and gut it to use in case I wanted to use it in some layers, and I do end up doing that too, and I do that in kind of a neat way, or I like the way it turns out anyway. So I just cut the center out, and I'm going to trim the flower paper down a little bit. I wanted to make sure, because I had torn that one off where it was perforated, so I wanted to make sure I trimmed that off so it made a nice straight edge. And I'm trimming this down to 11 inches square. So then I lay that other piece on top, and I kind of think that looks pretty neat. I never actually do that sort of thing with paper, but I liked the way that looked. It wasn't what I wanted to do with this, though. I do have to trim a little bit off the top and the bottom of the photo. It's not that big of a deal, and actually it sort of ends up emphasizing the panoramicness, which isn't a word, of this photo. But because that yellow strip, that scrap that I had that I found, was just not quite as, it was just the same width as the photo, so I needed to trim the photo down so I could see some of that yellow on all the sides. This is where I figure out that that makes a cool mat, and it's actually approximately the same width as the photo. So I decide that that's going to look really cute behind that yellow, just right where the photo is, just to sort of help bring your eye to that spot right where the photo is. See? Like that. And that's just going to help emphasize that spot on the layout, exactly where that photo is, a little bit more. It would have probably needed that layer in the end, but that's okay. I go through and I look through the paper pad just to see if there's anything else that I want. I'm going to look through these embellishments all too. I have this turned up to a couple times, this bead, so, and I basically am just flipping through the embellishments that I have from the Chamel lines. I have at least two of them of the embellishment packs. I don't think I have Starshine. And just looking for things that sort of apply to this layout or would look cute on the layout, or I find those clouds, I really like them. You'll see that me try to use them a couple of times on the layout, but they don't end up making it. But that's okay. Neither does the ampersand, but there just wasn't a good place to put it. Excuse my yawning, goodness gracious. So the stop and look and the going places, I thought both made sense because we were on a little bit of a, like a day trip kind of thing with my mother-in-law when this picture was taken. Picture was taken in 2001, I believe. And so, yeah, it's really old. My daughter, that's the baby in the picture, is 17 now. So, yeah, there you go. So I'm just kind of flipping through all of these papers to find what I want. And do I end up... Oh, I pull out this hot air balloon paper and decide it doesn't match my layout at all. So that paper was the whole reason I picked this paper line, and then, yeah, doesn't even make it. There will be a hot air balloon on the finished layout, but not from that paper. So I saw that one with the numbers and I really liked it. This pink is actually a pattern. It has like a stripe or something to it. But I was challenging myself, at least in my own head. I didn't say it, but I was kind of challenging myself to not use any plain cardstock. And so, yeah. This is a neat trick I saw somebody, probably on a YouTube video, do, where she just put adhesive when she was mounting a layout to kind of frame like this. She just put adhesive on one side and got it all lined up, and then went through and put the adhesive on the other sides. Does it mean that I always get things perfectly straight? Nope. Do I feel like I'm doing a little bit better with it like that? Yes, I certainly do. So I apologize again that this is crooked, but my camera is having a small issue, so I decided to put the blue piece down where it kind of was where I wanted it on the paper, and then that'll determine where my photo and stuff goes. And I really, really like the way that turned out. I'm just going to take this pink and figure out what I was going to do with it, and I'm just got 2 little 1-inch strips, leave them the 6 inches wide, and just tuck them in. So it looks like there's a 6-inch wide piece of paper behind that blue. I just wanted something to separate the blue a little bit from the background, and I think this does a really nice job. Again, it's doing the same thing basically as the... I'm going to use my T-square there to make sure I get it lined up and at least kind of straight. But when I use like strips like that, I want them to be lined up top to bottom so it does look like one piece of paper. And this does. That's the basics of the layout, all down together. Now I'm just really going to embellish it. So these Chamel stickers are see-through, they're clear, which is honestly not my favorite. I'm actually, on a layout on my own channel, going to use almost the entire rest of that page on a single layout because, yeah, I can't see myself doing what I'm doing here to use all of those stickers. So what I'm doing here is I put it on, it's actually the back of that piece of Galaxy, that scrap that I had, because I'm just using it as white. I know I wasn't going to use white cardstock, but I needed white behind this sticker. And then I'm actually going to make it into kind of an embellishment. I'm going to use it and that little navy, I think it says going places word, to make kind of a little embellishment that goes kind of in the top corner of where the photo is. So feel free to subscribe to my channel. The instructions are in the notes down here below. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see how I use the rest of that sticker pack, pretty much. Not all of it. I don't use the border strips and a couple of the other stickers, but almost all of that goes on one layout here in a little bit. That butterfly, I just thought it went, added some pinkish red down to that corner. I like that Hello Gorgeous with the hot air balloon. There's the hot air balloon. That actually there is a hot air balloon on the finished layout. So that's where it is and where it goes. The ampersand I tried there, and it wasn't hideous, but there was nothing else wood, and it didn't really go. Stop and Look I put there, and then I take it off, and then I put it back later, at the very end. So this is where I decide that that Going Places looks really good over the hot air balloon. I'm going to take my big roll of foam tape and cut down some pieces to mount this so it sticks up a little bit. It's really not all that exciting, but there you go. I love this photo. It's been in my photo pile for a really long time, and it looks really cute. It's just a covered bridge that we found where we were having lunch one day when we were going on a little trip. So see, there's the Going Places over the hot air balloon, and I really like how that looks like an actual on-purpose embellishment that all goes together, and it wasn't. So it's sort of a make-your-own embellishment kind of thing, I guess, is one way to look at it. And I want to place that in just the right spot so there's not a huge gap at the top, but I want it to also not cover up the sign that tells where we were and tells about that covered bridge in the picture. That Hello Gorgeous, I'm trying to get it tucked into those clouds just right so you can read it all and it still looks good. I have these foam word stickers that I really like. I actually just got them, and I'm trying to figure out what fits. I wanted to see if Happy Life fit, and I didn't think it would. And so I decide on Adventure because, excuse me, goodness, it was kind of an adventure. We took my mother-in-law, the journaling in the end photo will say all of this if you care, but we took my mother-in-law to a gourd festival in northern Indiana and stopped for lunch at a little cafe that was kind of off the highway, and right by it was this covered bridge. I actually think the restaurant was called Covered Bridge Restaurant or something. But yeah. So, and then I have these are not foam, these are like chipboard thickers, and they're like all these different florally, patterny things, and it's going to say Grandma Adventure, because it was kind of a grandma adventure. And I'm going to move the thickers, these thickers around just a little bit to get them sort of where, there, like that, so that the letters that have circles in the center, the D's and the A's, so that you don't see like 3 different colors of paper behind them. I know that's sort of a weird thing. The rest of them you do see like several colors behind, and I don't care. So, and I just made the grandma word go up and down a little bit, be kind of bumpy, because sometimes that's easier than lining everything up. This is where I put Stop and Look back because I thought that it needed something over where that butterfly is, and that was actually the perfect length, and it fits really perfectly right over that word adventure. So my title kind of came out as Stop and Look Grandma Adventure, but I'm just calling it Grandma Adventure. Then I'm going to go through my little bag that has all my enamel dots and like puffy stickery things in it, and try to I find some pink enamel dots, then I find the puffy hearts, and I like those better. But the blue doesn't match at all, so I get the little bag back out, and I go through it again, and I'm looking for some enamel dots that match in, like, I want them to match the color of my mother-in-law's shirt, which also kind of matches the clouds and stuff, and I think there's maybe a little bit of blue on the background that matches them too. So I'm a little bit off screen here with the page itself while I'm doing this, going through the whole thing. Aha, that's gonna have them. And actually, those, it doesn't even necessarily, it matches perfectly. I don't know if you could tell that or not. I have a heck of a time getting these open. There I go. Finally got them open. And then I'm really just going to put like 3 of the little blue chip or enamel dots in each of my 2 little clustery things. And 1 pink heart in each of them. And really that's about it. I didn't do a 3rd cluster. I just thought that was enough. I don't know. So this is where I try to put the clouds back, and I'm like, oh, one of those would look really good up there, or over there, and yeah, then I could put these over here, and yeah, I'm just not going to. I couldn't figure out on that left side where they would go and look good, so they just don't go there at all, which is fine. And now the pink hearts. And the only other thing I'm going to add is my journaling. Thanks for watching, and have a great day!